Hey guys, so one of the people at my church decided to do this testimony challenge while when everyone would say their testimonies and then post it. So here's mine. I want to first and say that my dad and my mom were split up all my life, um, as long as I've ever known. So I would go to my dad's on the weekends, and then on the weekdays I would be at my mom's house. Um, I also want to say that all the way back in elementary school, from starting at third grade to sixth grade, I was swearing all the time. Like, it was crazy the amount of times I swore. I did not care. I wouldn't do it at my mom's, my dad's house, I would, but like every sentence had like two swears, which is crazy to think about. Even like, I don't even really hear that all the time in high school. Which, I mean, yeah, some kids do, but like that's I don't know, that's crazy. So with that being said, all my life I also when I was born till probably about like 9, we would go to church, and then my brother was born, and we kind of stopped going to church, and the excuse was to that my we had a baby brother, so we couldn't go to church, and then that was about fourth grade, third grade, I think it was, when I was 9. I don't really remember. But then once in seventh grade, we decided to go back again, and I went to the Sunday church, and I also joined the youth group that was there on Wednesdays. And then from there, I mean, seventh grade, I was still a swearing. Eighth grade, I kind of let loose a little bit. I stopped swearing a bit. But throughout sixth to eighth grade, my middle school years, I was like alone. I didn't feel really loved at all. Um, in the sixth grade, I did have like a group of friends, but I stopped really talking to them when seventh grade came around, and then I had one friend in seventh grade. But I didn't really feel like he was my best friend, even though he's my only friend, really. Um, and then in eighth grade, I had a girlfriend, um, and I lost my friend, so really all I had there was my girlfriend until we broke up, which was like at the end of eighth grade. So basically, I was going into high school basically alone, and I felt alone and felt unloved, really. Um, I had one friend named Andrew, which is still my best friend today. He's really like the only real one I had during high school. Um, I didn't really, I mean, I only talked to him for like one class back in middle school, but like in ninth grade, I'll start talking to him a little more because he's like the only one I knew. So ninth grade came around, we went through ninth grade with basically only knowing really Andrew. We were like friends, but I wouldn't really say we were best friends yet. Um, and then from ninth grade to 10th grade in the summer, my father passed away during the summer, and that was such a tragic moment because really the only the only person I felt that really loved me at all was my father. He was like my best friend. He was just so amazing, and like he's like I felt like that's all I had, and he was just taken from me, and that's how I felt. And then from there, I just felt lost, hopeless, unloved, destroyed, just every bad thing, really. Then my birthday started coming around in October. Um, in that week of October, I was still felt alone. It was a Tuesday where I was in the shower, and um, I just prayed to God that like I would get a family, a new family, that I would feel that loved me, um, because the people at youth group, right? I was friends with them, but like I didn't know them outside of it, and I would only talk to them during church, and that's really it. Like, but like I don't know, they weren't a family; they were just friends I had, I would say. But on that Tuesday, I just prayed that I would get a family. The people at my church would become a family. I would get to know them even more. And then the Wednesday came around, I went to youth group, and Shane, it was Shane, someone named Shane, and there was someone named Brandon that really went up to me and he's like, "Hey, your birthday's coming, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, we should go hang out on your birthday." My birthday was that Saturday. And that just filled me up with like I had a sense of I had a sense of love there in some kind of like I don't know what it was at the time. But so the week passed. We didn't do anything on Saturday, but on Sunday I came into church. Um, then during or just before church, Brandon went up to me and he was like, "Hey, you doing anything after church?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "Come hang out." I was like, "Okay." So we went. I came after church. We went over to someone's house. His name is Toby. Went over to Toby's house, and there were like 20 to 30 people there, and they were all there to celebrate my birthday. A bunch of what I thought was just friends that I've had for yeah, it was 3 years, but I barely talked to like any of them, and I barely knew any of them. And they were all there, like 20 to 30 of them there celebrating my birthday. Like I felt so loved there. Like, and I remember that day. I just thought back like that week was the first time I prayed for a family, and God gave me a family starting on that day. I was born into a new family. Um, and then that same day, I got asked to join Brandon's small group. I went in and I remember like just feeling wanted and loved, and like I had a new home when I joined that small group. And just from there, like I never felt unloved, unwanted. I felt healed. The people of this group, the church family, what they had in them, I saw God, I saw Jesus, and they just gave me God's love. And I just felt it the moment I stepped into that small group and just that family that I had. Um, it was just such a miraculous time. Like, my life changed there. I went into the 10th grade as an, or I finished the 10th grade as a new person. Then when I started, I went from a broken and lost person to a found and loved person. And that was just, I thought I lost everything I had. I thought I lost my father. Well, well, I did lose my father, but people say that, like, why does God take things from you? Why does He do all these bad things? But I think back and I'm like, yeah, He took a father, but He took my dad, the person I only had, and He gave me a brand new family of like 30 people that I had now that I can now go and see. I see them all the time now. Um, I talk to them all the time, and I'm just saying, if my dad never passed away, I would never have this family, and the only person I would kind of had is just my dad. Now, yes, I would rather have him alive still, but I don't know. I think this family that I gained is so important to me that I can never lose them. And I know I'll never lose them, but I'll always need them. Um, and I'm always thanking God for what He has done in my life, and I just want everyone to know that even though that you don't believe in Him, even though that you don't see that He is there, um, He is always waiting for you to even go and try. Um, if you guys just always, if you just go and try and see if something is there, um, trust me when I say this, God will fulfill. He will be there. He will give you exactly what you need. You just you just have to give it a try. Um, I am always here. If anyone needs to talk to a prayer or has any questions, this is a life changing thing. God will get you out of anything that you are going through. So please just give it a try.